अस्सलाम वालेकुम। PSY 402 फाइनल टर्म प्रिपरेशन। और इस वीडियो में आज हम तकरीबन मोर देन 70 ऑलमोस्ट 80 MCQs को कवर करेंगे। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। Which of the following is a sudden burst of the comprehension that one may experience while during the effort to solve the problem? Right answer is insight. Semantic memory is a subsystem of which of the following memories is a declarative. At the most primitive level, solution to problems can be obtained through the trial and error method. How the psychologist belongs to the humanistic school of the thought would view the learning process. Right answer is a personal act to fulfill the potential. Psychophysics uses the three methods of testing subjects' perception in stimulus detection and difference detection experiments. Which of the following is not included in them? Right option is the method of the varying stimuli. The principles of the grouping includes coherence, similarity, proximity, and continuity. Similarity and proximity. Right option is all. Which is the main goal purpose of education according to the cognitive psychologist? Develop the capacity and skill to learn the better. According to the results of the sleep test, which sense is generally better in the women than the men? Right option is the sense of smell. As scientific psychology, properly speaking, is impossibility. Who gave this statement? Immanuel Kant. Which of the following learning does not occur as a function of the observing others' behavior? Right answer is associative learning. Which of the following memory type refers to the memory for the skills and habits such as riding the bike and hitting the baseball? Is a procedural memory. Which of the following memory for general knowledge and facts about the world as well as the rules of the logic that are used to deduce the facts is the semantic memory? Which of the following refers to the process by which the information is initially recorded in the form of the usable to the memory is the encoding? Which of the following is the process by which the individual overcomes obstacle to reach the goal? Is a problem solving? Which of the following is a form of problem solving that generates a novel and socially valued solutions to the problem? Right answer is creativity. All of the following are the main topics in the psychophysical classification scheme except the perception. After the establishment of the classical conditioning, if the conditioned stimulus is repeatedly presented without the unconditional stimulus, then the conditioned response will disappear. This is known as the extinction. Psychophysics is the earliest branch of which of the field psychology is experimental. Identify the characteristics that make the sound high or low. Is the pitch. Ibn al-Haytham worked on the sense of the wheel. The senses of motion and balance represent the major functions of ear. The distribution of receptor cell on the tongue is uneven. Roads and ponds have been given these names because of their shapes. Waves with small peaks and valleys produces dash sounds, while those that have a relatively large produces dash sounds, soft and loud. Ibn Gauss was the first discovered on all of the following except stimulus error. Optic nerves from each eye meet at a point roughly between the two eyes called the optic chiasm. Psychology is not related with the values but facts. This is related with which of the following characteristics of the experimental psychology? Factuality. For Arslan, fire engines, green grass, and the red colors of the traffic lights all appear yellow. Arslan is having the color blindness. Right option is. Hermann Helmholtz conducted the studies of the wide range of topics, including all of the following except the test of hypotheses with the verifiable experiments. Hermann Ibn Gauss was the first person who experimentally studied the memory. How did he establish the association of the experimental psychology called the experimentalist, which still is existent today as a society of the experimental psychology, is the dictionary. Which of the following is defined as a number of the waves crest that occurs in the second is the frequency. Many viewpoints have been proposed about learning. Each perspective of having its different notions. The locus of the learning is the behaviorism is on the stimuli in the external environment. On ringing bell, a child turns his head towards the source of sound. It seems the stimulus is repeated over and over again. The probability and magnitude of this orienting response will be decreased. This phenomenon is known as habituation. Isha has a panic attack during the plane ride. Now the mere thought of an airplane makes him very nervous. 20 years pass and Isha is still afraid of airplanes, even though he never took another flight. In this, it is an example of fear. CR means conditioned response. A teacher who gives a periodic surprise quizzes to promote a more consistent study of his students. The teacher is making the use of dash schedules is a variable interval. Which of the following is not a recognized theory of the forgetting? Is a hierarchy theory. Which of the following is not a structure of the Atkinson and Shiffrin models of the memory is a convergent store? Which of the following memory reflects information from our real system is the iconic memory? Which of the following is the correct sequence through which the information passes as it is processed by the human memory system is a sensory memory, working memory, and long-term memory? People often retain and use a prior experience without realizing it. It is an example of the memory implicit. What is the main goal of the purpose of the education according to the humanist? Become the self-actualized. If the student raises a hand in the class and answer the question, but he is not being called on the answer, and he is no longer positively reinforced for the raising the hands, he would eventually stop doing this. This is called the extension. How the psychologists belong to the humanistic school of the thoughts would view the learning process. Right answer is a personal act to fulfill the potential. Which of the following memory is for the factual information, names, faces, dates, and the like? Declarative memory. A pigeon might be reinforced for its first bar press after 19 seconds, then after the 37 seconds, then after the 4 seconds, and so on, with the interval of the overaging 20 seconds. Variable interval schedule. Learning that occurs without the reinforcement of the overt behavior is named as latent learning. Touch a baby's face and he or she will turn towards the touching source. This is the example of the reflex action. One can forget some information at one point in the time and yet be able to retrieve it perfectly well at later point. This is the shortcoming dash theory of forgetting is a decay. Which of the following learning does not occur as a function of the observing the other's behavior? Right option is associative learning. A teacher who gives the periodic surprises quizzes this repeat variable interval have. Instrumental conditioning is also named as operant conditioning. My mother has a fear of cat. He started the shivering on the watching the cat. Later on started to demonstrate the same symptoms of his fear on watching any furry stimuli. This is an example of the which of the following concept is a generalization. Which of the following is a memory of the biographical details of the one of the individual's life as what he has done and kinds of the experiences he had constitute episodic memory. Which of the following memory type of the refers to the memory for the skills and habits such as riding the bike, hitting the baseball is a procedural memory. Which of the following memory for the general knowledge, facts and about the world as well as the rules of the logic that are used to deduce the facts are the semantics. नेक्स्ट एमसीक्यू तकरीबन रिपीट हो रहे हैं, तो मैं स्क्रॉल अप कर लेती हूँ, आप देख लें ये वाले एमसीक्यूज रिपीट हो रहे हैं. लेकिन ये फाइल है इंपॉर्टेंट क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारे एमसीक्यूज हैं जिनके चांसेस है कि पेपर में रिपीट हो जाए। अगर तो पेपर पास पेपर में से आता है तो, अगर सब बच्चों का कॉन्सेप्चुअल और न्यू पेपर हुआ तो फिर तो अल्लाह की मर्जी। अभी तक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो काइंडली सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, वीडियो को लाइक करें, और किसी और सब्जेक्ट के हवाले से अगर आपको हेल्प चाहिए तो आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं। ये सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन हैं लास्ट में। Thanks for watching. All the best.